Welcome. How is everyone doing? I'm Sal Salamone. I'm managing editor at Network Computing, and our publication, this conference is vital for a lot of our readers. So we have enterprise IT managers, and topics like NaaS, SASE, and SD-WAN are part of our core coverage. So it's been great coming last year and to be part of it this year. So I'm just going to keep out of the way and bring the speakers up and try to keep the session on time. So with that, I'm going to introduce our first Diamond Keynote speaker. We have Paul Gampe from Console Connect, and he'll be coming out in 1 second for his NaaS and APIs, facilitating the moment of data globally. Hello, Paul. Welcome. And I'll turn it over to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. As you can see, I am not Marc Halbfinger. I'm the shorter version representing PCCW Global Console Connect here today. And I'm going to take this opportunity to spend a few minutes to embarrass Marc because he's not here to stop me. It is exactly 7 years and 1 week ago that I was on stage with Marc when he announced the acquisition of Console Connect by PCCW Global at the MEF-CECP event in Florida. And that was the beginning of a journey for me to get to understand a lot about Marc, about the company and the culture that he had built, and how critical it is contributing to all of you here in this community is to the leadership team that he's built at Console Connect. Over the last 7 years, I've got to watch Marc play a role as chair for the Global Leadership Forum. I've got to watch him play a board member for the Bridge Alliance, and I've got to watch him contribute to MEF every single day. It is a core passion of his to not only see that Console Connect PCCW Global is a successful business, but also to ensure that we're a successful industry through collaboration. And I hope when you get an opportunity to speak with any of the Console Connect team here this week, when you get to hear us talk about our contribution to the community, I'll be presenting tomorrow talking about a project that we're releasing under an open source software license. That's how committed we are to ensuring the success of our industry. That you'll get a chance to see that leadership style and those values reflected in everybody that you get to meet from the organization. So with that, now that I've had a chance to embarrass Marc a little bit, I'm going to throw to a video, and here's Marc.
Hello, everyone, and my apologies that I'm not able to be with you today, but physically, but hopefully this short video clip will be able to introduce the topic that our colleagues at Console Connect and the colleagues at MEF were interested that I share with you. Network as a service and APIs, and the manner in which both can be used to facilitate the movement of data globally is an important topic for us. We're eager to use our Console Connect platform and our global IP backbone to assure that we're able to meet the new requirements of data movement that we're seeing around the world. Poor quality data management and the nature of fragmented data impact with limitations of existing infrastructure around the world and the demands of compliance, whether from a jurisdictional compliance point of view or even an industry vertical point of view, are becoming increasingly important. What customers need and the issues that the customers face are becoming ever more complex. This is becoming ever true today within the framework of what we've seen in the last 2 years as generative AI has hit the market very aggressively and effectively created a tsunami of change within the ICT industry, which is also impacting network development and the manner in which we move. On the one hand, we're being asked to move ever faster. On the other hand, the nature in which users wish to move their data around networks, around platforms, in clouds, amongst devices, are becoming increasingly complex. Efficiency, privacy, and security, and the way that cost is managed is becoming very important to every IT leader and every CIO. Still trying to work out on how Gen AI can be meaningful to all sorts of players, focusing on how models are trained, the commercial issues of inferences, which is the new commercial language that we're hearing to deliver the value that comes from AI, is playing to the issues of networks, data centers, edge computing, network security, and many other issues. As Gen AI workloads are becoming increasingly larger, increasingly complex, demanding issues of power and so on, It has become evident that the ICT industry again needs to find ways to collaborate with one another in order to facilitate all the values that ultimately the end user enterprise requires. We believe that the API economy, which is showing increasing demand with increased numbers of API calls and API collections taking place around the world, focusing on new API models in the industry is also going to be critical to how data is moved. Network as a service and APIs can also help address the pain points that we see that will be arising from artificial intelligence and data movement. Automating via API and making sure that we all have AI-ready networks that are able to deliver more data with sufficient power and also be compliant with the various demands of regulation and oversight that is required is becoming increasingly difficult, increasingly challenging. And as we see, the different numbers of models are also meaning that there are different types of cloud environments driving ever faster the requirements for hybrid cloud performance for enterprise users. The Console Connect platform, we believe, can be meaningful to this environment, but we don't believe that we can do it alone. We believe that it's necessary to integrate with many other users, not just with customers, but also with other ICT environments, your networks, your platforms, your communities, applications, data centers, cloud service providers, various SaaS applications. All of these entities require automated interoperability that can facilitate ordering, settlement, and management of the relationships, and API is the way to do it. And we see MEF as critical to that environment to help create a standardized environment for how that can work, as well as to assure that certification can be delivered through that standardization process. We've taken the decision and consulted with MEF that it would be wise for us to take some of what we do in building our automated platforms and releasing that into the open source community. We're hopeful that each and every one of you will test the waters and see, does it make sense to leverage what we're delivering into open source that we believe will accelerate the API-based automation capabilities for certain elements of the LSO infrastructure. We hope that Paul Gampe and his team will spend a few days with you trying to explain what our thoughts are and how we believe that it can be meaningful to the entire industry. We don't recall a time when open source has been delivered to the network community in this fashion, and we're eager to gain your feedback to understand where we are doing well and where we may be making mistakes, and we'd be happy to modify. This open source GitHub-based environment will provide a flexible no-code framework to each and every one of you, and we don't believe would impact your own development work styles, and in fact, may just enhance and improve. The Console Connect difference that we've seen over time is to take our global integrated network and step-by-step automate that with self-service platforms. We've seen the value of integrating an OSS and BSS environment in order to create automated on-demand platforms. Increasingly, particularly a Gen AI environment, we expect that those will be required. Private networking and on-demand services will go together, and the BSS and OSS environments that are automated through the physical network and through the code-based platform will be meaningful. All of those will provide better solutions for data movement, will increase the availability of movement of value for data between multi and hybrid cloud data environments, for storage, for transfer, for compute, for importing data from AI and ML models, and also device to cloud, which we've been working on quite aggressively to help facilitate mobile devices to interconnect directly to cloud. Ecosystems can be created through this environment, and we believe that ultimately this is creating a strong layer of connectivity between the physical network and the software domain platform. All of this is necessary as we see the rising volumes of data and data movement throughout the industry and the entire ICT fabric of communities. Hopefully you'll agree, and we hope that you'll also find interest in what we've done by releasing this activity to open source. We want to thank very much all of the colleagues at MEF, particularly Nan, Pascal, Kevin, Lori, Stan, and all the team for all the work that's done, and all of you who are part of the MEF community, who are often working with the experts in order to help develop some of the rule-based structure for standardization in our industry. We encourage you to go ever further in expanding the base of those who interoperate and integrate with the MEF-based community. For many years, this platform, we believe, has been very valuable to our industry, and we've been honored to contribute to it, and hope that all of you will continue to join in that effort. My thanks to the Console Connect team, particularly those that are visiting at MEF, but those throughout the world who have believed in trying to break down the barriers between code and physical network, who work together globally in a multicultural environment. You really are the true heroes of our business, and I thank you very much. My apologies again for not being there physically, and I hope you have a great week at the GNE.
I hope you all enjoyed those few comments from Marc. The key takeaway for me is that we can't do it alone. Everybody in the room here represents a community that benefits from collaboration, and over the course of the next few days, we hope you get to understand a little bit more about how we intend to contribute back to the community. Any form of community contribution, it's not about what you get out of it, it's about what you put into it. And all of us here from Console Connect are here this week to contribute into the community, not to take anything from it. And with that, a final round of applause for Marc. Thank you very much.